All right, on this Garlic Marketing Show, if you're watching this on YouTube, congrats. Make sure you're subscribed because I'm going to be putting more and more of this out, and you'll get this before it gets out on the podcast. But we're going to talk today about one of the biggest questions I get and what's wrong with it. How can I tell if YouTube works for landing me big clients? This is a question that at its top level makes sense, right? It makes sense to ask this question. But when you really think about it, there's a lot of problems with it. And today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the wrong question, why we ask it, the trap it sets us into. And we're going to talk about YouTube triggers that we are missing. I'm going to talk about AI and why that all matters to $100,000 clients, those big clients we want. We're going to talk about industry opportunities. And then we're going to talk about the right question you should be asking and some fast answers to it. All right, so let's get started. First of all, why is this the wrong question? This is the wrong question because of how we search. YouTube can drive leads directly. I have clients, and we have clients that drive leads directly from YouTube, where people say, in general, it's what they say is, I saw you on TV, right? And what this does, though, is we're like saying YouTube doesn't generate leads, so I'm not going to spend any time on it. And that's why it's the wrong question, because YouTube is the biggest opportunity. It's just we're thinking about it the wrong way. And the reason we think about it is why we're asking this question. Why we're asking, is YouTube working, right? Is YouTube working for generating leads? Is because each of the platforms, especially ads, have gotten us into this idea of attribution. And you can get attribution for, like a Facebook sale, an ad sale. But like Google themselves say, we're exposed to a brand 500 times before we make a decision. And think about it, the bigger your clients, the more they're researching, the more time often it takes before they're like ready to go. And we'll talk about 100K clients, those big clients, in a second. But the reason we're asking it is because we've been driven home this idea of attribution. And we used to have more of it with pixels, etc. But even like if you watched, my episode on Perpetual Traffic podcast or any of Ralph's podcasts, they really talk about the problem of attribution, how off it is, and people will force you into that attribution loop. Agencies will do it too. You agencies out there that are listening, they're going to say, well, we got you that lead, right? The journey is so much bigger than lead to problem and to solution. And the part of the problem too, why it's the wrong question, is because if you're just looking to get a lead right away and say, hey, that lead watch video came from YouTube, they're not getting sold, and this is causing you bad leads because they're not getting a chance to experience you. And then we drive back to referrals. And this is the trap, because when we ask this question, we say, hey, that didn't generate leads, so I stopped doing it. And you say, oh, YouTube didn't generate leads. I tried it for, 60 days and it didn't generate leads. But when we do that and we just go to, I just want lead generation, we get lead generation, but there's no warming up of the audience. There's no indoctrination. There's no building your authority to that audience. There's no differentiator. So when they call you, they don't know who you are. They don't know what you do. They don't know why you're different. They don't know that you're an authority. They don't know your successes. They know nothing except to ask about price. If that, right? So now they're just like, how much, right? And now you're battling on price with people that are nowhere near as good as you because all you wanted was the lead. And so you're like, well, I got a lead from this social media post. Well, they've watched 20, 30 different things about you. They've done other research. And that was the one thing, because social media, like especially like Instagram and Facebook, have good messengers. So the person could have seen 20, 30 different things of yours if you have it out there. And they're definitely doing, they're doing research on Google. They're checking out your website, of course. And if you have a great YouTube channel, they're checking out your YouTube channel. But YouTube has much bigger opportunities, but the one opportunity it doesn't have is really great direct messaging and a great way to, we're just not used to using YouTube to go click and fill out a form, right? We will watch a lot of YouTube, and we'll talk about that because YouTube triggers are huge. So what does this mean? Well, there's different triggers. I talk about the Oprah effect. The more someone spends time with you, the more they're going to see you as a friend. It is ingrained in us. It is a cognitive bias. Then YouTube can trigger mimetic desire. If you have case stories, they can see people like themselves, hear their story, and spend time with them. And now that you trigger a thing called mimetic desire, it's me too. I want what that person has. So also with their social influence. And we do this through total time. Plus, YouTube is the number 2 most used search engine. We're going there more and more. And as we'll talk about in a few minutes, AI is actually being triggered by YouTube. People are going there to answer their questions. They're going there to learn. They're going there to spend more time. And the total time you can get with the audience is everything, because the more time they spend with you, the more you answer their questions. And that's where on YouTube, we can find the questions. If you have a great YouTube channel that's answering their $100,000 questions, those big questions of those big buyers, you're going to become their authority. But we can't do that on any other platform, right? They can't quickly peruse videos. And here's the thing. Let's look at the other platforms. This is my Instagram. This is actually Neil Patel's diagram, but I wrote about it. You can follow both of us. Look at this. Facebook, 18 seconds per video view. 26 seconds. LinkedIn was the longest at 46 seconds. And YouTube at 3 minutes. We have videos that are 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes long. You don't watch an hour video on any other platform except YouTube. And that total time that people spend with you makes you a friend. And if you're answering the questions, makes you an authority. And if you're answering their buying questions, will make the sale happen faster. And this is why our clients, when people in the trusted authority community, the people that made the core 4 videos, the people are using this in the sales system, they're like, these people come in pre-sold because they have video case stories that people can go and find on YouTube. YouTube also triggers when you have total view time and the right view time and you're sending the right people there, you're going to get more of those people with those problems because Google has all the data and knows, hey, this person has this problem. Let me show more content that they're already watching 20, 30 minutes of. So, AI also is becoming one of the top search engines. Absolute top search engines. AI is getting that view time data. It's getting so much data on comments. It knows who the person is searching, obviously. It knows a problem because people are asking those questions. It's suggesting other questions. You go to Perplexity, ask a question, it's going to suggest other question. And it's getting so much data from YouTube, right? So much data that, and using that data to actually answer questions. So it becomes this trusted source, and now it will drive answers based on YouTube videos. Watch next time you search. 1, 2, 3 YouTube videos will pop up as the sources because it gives us and I'll go deeper into this, but we've been doing a lot of research on how it's showing up. And this is what I'm seeing from my clients is they're getting, the people that are running the system and running YouTube properly are getting calls from ChatGPT. So we also have to remember that $100,000 clients might watch one video, might watch 5 videos, might watch 10 videos, they might watch over a course of years. They're not going to like, they're not going to comment, they're not going to get into your funnel. They don't want to get on a sales call until they're ready to buy, right? Because their time is valuable. They don't want to be sold on a sales call. They want to sell themselves and get their questions answered. And I see this over and over again. You look at Marty, who, was landing Delta and some other people's clients. I just got another client called a tax professional. I got 2 7-figure clients out of it. I'm seeing this with attorneys and the bigger clients, where they're landing 6, 7, 8-figure click cases. And of course, agencies. I mean, I'm using this and I'm getting big clients myself. Everything I'm talking to you about has been working. And when you build that YouTube authority, it works. And people come to me like, oh, I watched all your videos, blah, 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 right? It makes the sale so much easier. But those $100,000 clients, those big clients, aren't jumping into everything that you're offering, your lead magnet. Hey, comment below, which I'd love for you to comment below. But if you're a big client, I bet you're not going to. And also, $100,000 clients have $1 million problems. Here's the problem with $1 million problems. Not a lot of people have them. So you're going to be chasing views, right? And if you chase views, you're not chasing $100,000 clients. So let's talk about some of the industry opportunities. These are all industries that we work with on a regular basis. Digital agencies. I mean, myself as a digital agency, this is how I got started. Doing everything that I talk about here, creating video case stories, sending them to a YouTube channel, using the video case stories in the sales system, developing a sales system, developing a strategic offer so I can close clients in 1 to 2 calls that elevates into 5-6 figure deals. These are all things I do myself, but I've done for other clients. In digital agencies, if you want, you're going to be an order taker unless you build your authority. And if you're not using YouTube to build your authority, you're losing. So, finance and tax pros, you got to use YouTube because you are in a trust-based system and you need to build trust. You need to build your authority. And, you as a solo have a huge opportunity. They get to know you and trust you beforehand. Attorneys, same thing. Every attorney ad looks exactly the same to most people. Call now, free consultation. There's a lot wrong with the free consultation. I'll be talking about how we're changing that in future videos. People want to know what it's like to work with you if you help someone like them and want to spend some time with you. And they're afraid of attorneys. They're afraid they're going to rip them off. They're afraid they're going to, just force them to do things. They're afraid that they're going to be condescending. YouTube's your opportunity to spend more time with them. And of course, consultants, same thing. You can show your proven process, your trusted path. You can show you've gotten results. Most people don't like consultants either because they take all their money and don't get results. With video case stories, you can show the results. And YouTube's the best way to get 20, 30, 40 minutes of view time. The more time you spend with them, the more they're going to trust you. You can indoctrinate them too. If you look at like EOS and Gino Wickman, a good friend and client, he indoctrinated people. Like people in EOS know all the EOS terms. And you can do that with a book. It's just going to take longer. YouTube gets you to indoctrinate people. So what's the right question? The right question is, how can I get more people, my ideal clients with these problems, those $1 million problems that I solve, to watch more of my videos? Because if you have total view time and they watch more of your video, spend more time with you, spend more time with your clients, it's inevitable. If you are answering the questions and you're answering their buying questions and you are speaking to them and really providing value and getting that view time, you're going to win. All right, now that you're asking the right question, now that you're asking the right question, how can I get more of my perfect prospects with this problem that I solve to watch it when they are ready to watch the video and start taking action? So the number one place to get that fast answer is actually in the green zone. I did a whole video on this. We'll put a link down below. But the green zone is where people are ready to take action, where they're looking for help, looking for answers, looking for someone to help them. And this is where they will consume the most of your content if it is geared specifically toward them. The bigger the client, the more specifically you're going to need to talk to their problem. But I was literally just on the phone or on a podcast with Steve Gruberman. You can watch that Garlic Marketing Show. He talks about how he landed 2 clients who watched in 10 minutes each because they watched all of his YouTube videos. This is the best thing, is because it spoke to their problem at that moment, right? That's the way we're going to win. It's not by building huge audiences. It's by speaking to small audiences that want to solve a problem and are willing to pay you for your expertise. When you do that, you build your authority, and it's inevitable. Now, the thing to remember is you don't have, if you're going after $100,000 clients, there's not a whole lot of them out there. You're not going to get millions of views, and you don't need it. So the fastest way to do that, optimize the green tone, is to take YouTube and put it into a sales system. What's one of the things we work hard on in our trusted authority community is installing this into your sales system and using it regularly. YouTube should be used throughout your emails, throughout your follow-up, throughout your coaching, training salespeople, building your strategic offer, so you can close. And when you do this, and you get the right people to watch the videos, and they're going to close faster, bigger, and actually have better results and be happier. And what happens when you have happier clients? You get more referrals. The other thing you need to start doing is answering the $100,000 questions. $100,000 questions are actually easier to rank for because they are more specific, less competition. Right? How to log into WordPress. You might get you rank number 1 for that. You might get 1 million views. But you don't want someone who needs to know how to log into WordPress. You don't want that person calling you. Now, what platform is the best for my Fortune 500 company? Now, I'm making up a question. That's the question you want to rank number 1 for. And are there going to be 100 views, 200 views, maybe 500 views? 500 potential audience? I mean, 500, there's by definition 500 companies in the Fortune 500. Maybe you have 3 people looking, 1,500 total possible audience. If you get 10% of it, you get 150 views. You get one of them as an agency, right? You're going to win. Same thing in every one of your industries. Find those $100,000 questions is the fastest way to get more of the right people watching the videos with the right problems. Then, of course, demonstrate how you solve million-dollar problems. How do we do that? Video case stories. You need to collect the right video case stories and get them ranking for the people like them with the problems like them. You show how you do that. I was just looking at someone who was looking for an agency, and they said, send me video testimonials. I mean, he said testimonials, but he meant case stories. So the fastest way, get great video case stories onto your YouTube channel. And of course, crafting your core for converting videos. Your video case stories, your Why Us video, your Trusted Path video, and your converting question videos. These are all the videos you need to be creating, ranking, and be optimized for that ideal person. This is how, because if you're optimized for that person in the green zone, you're going to get more of these people to watch it. And then if you install in your sales system, you get more people to watch the videos. And when they do that, you get more people to watch the videos, you get more time with them. When you get more time, you are going to win. All right, so if you want this chart, comment below. I will send you a link to how to get the chart. If you want help with this, obviously you can join our Trusted Authority community. Just comment below. I can send you an application to get on the wait list. It's a small community, and obviously if you need help with this, we can help you with it too. But the point being is YouTube is a huge opportunity. You just need to stop at trying to get it to be like a direct lead source and just think about how can I get more of my ideal clients with these problems, these big problems that they're willing to pay me top dollar to solve, to watch more time of my videos. If you think about that and you do that and you concentrate, I promise you, you are going to win with YouTube. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. This has been Iron Garlic, and thanks for making me a part of your story.